Capture specific window. It's called PMS build.exe. Oh, I'm such a child. Right. Game. Continue. Let's turn off time limits because I will be spending a lot of time reading the chat rather than actually playing the game. Right. Okay, so I'm just continuing this, the sort of career mode I have going at the minute because there's really nothing to be gained by starting at the beginning again and going through tutorial stuff. So the basic premise of the game is it's like 1940, and we are an RAF aircraft mechanic in World War II, and we fix aeroplanes. And today we're fixing a Tiger Moth. Time for the monthly inspection, take the engine apart and fix all the worn parts. So basically today's job is to turn the audio down. That's better. Yeah, basically open up that fucking engine and replace everything that needs replacing. So, this is probably going to take a while as well, to be honest, actually. Previous one I had for this was for the previous like task I had was just like replace a spark plug, which was done in like 5 seconds. So this one's gonna be a doozy. So right, let's open this fucker up, I suppose. Go around the other side. No, I don't wanna, there we go. Still, the controls are like not the most intuitive thing in the world, so I'm still kind of getting used to them. Right. We'll probably need to get the front off as well, won't we? It's very trial and error, this. I have a passing interest in aircraft restoration myself, so I do particularly find this an interesting game from that perspective. I actually know IRL aircraft mechanics, you know, so. Off comes the propeller. We're replacing on this one. We're taking apart the entire engine and replacing any worn bits, basically. So it's going to take a while. Okie dokie. If I hit 3, we go into diagnosis mode here, so we can click on stuff. Click and hold on stuff to see what condition everything is in. Ah! The ignition wires are buggered up, apparently. Oh, let's get rid of the bottom cover as well. Yeah, that's what I love it for, Angus. It's just like, calmly take things apart and put them back together simulator. And I kind of love it for that. Well, so far we found that the ignition wires on the right are buggered. The left ones are fine, though. As far as I know, yeah, this is exactly. This is a pretty exact replica of the real aeroplane. So yeah, there is some educational value from that perspective. It's a bit like PC building simulator. PC building simulator actually taught me how to build a PC. Because previously I was a complete fucking Luddite in that department. Right. Right, we're not going to get that cover off until this comes off, are we? Can you check the individual spark plugs? Yes, you can. In fact, one of the previous assignments I had to do when I was playing this the other day was actually replace the spark plugs. And that was a fascinating adventure because I didn't actually know where the spark plugs were in the engine, so I took the damn near the entire thing apart until I finally found them. One thing about mechanic sim games is on the expert mode, each bolt needs to be clicked multiple times to get them off, put them on. Yeah, I'm not playing on expert mode. I ain't got time for that shit. Oh. VR car mechanic game. Amazing. I might actually pick up car mechanic sim, to be honest, because I've enjoyed this so freaking much, actually. I wouldn't mind having a go at that as well. And considering this is just an early access jobby. Ah. There's a shipbuilding sim. Holy shit. Holy ship! Ho, 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 ho. Especially with some of the licensed car packs, you aren't just dealing with generic parts. Oh, nice, yeah. Well, one of the things I liked about PC Building Simulator was that it has a lot of licensed stuff in it. So, like, you're not just putting in generic graphics card. You're actually putting in, like, a 980 Ti or something. And obviously this game I like because it's like it's not just generic made-up aeroplanes, it's actual World War II aeroplanes. Like this here Tiger Moth. I haven't been able to get my hands on a Hurricane or a Spitfire yet. I'm hoping they're in the game, but they might not be because it's early access. I don't know yet. Speaking of Spitfires, this is making me so damn nostalgic for IL-2 Sturmovik. Cliffs of Dover. Fucking hell, man. Anyway, building a PC from 8 years ago. Well, you fix PCs, Valon. You don't necessarily build them from scratch. So you'll get a PC that someone sent in which has old parts in it like that. You fucking smart Alec. Thought you were being all clever. Good night, Queen. Free-to-play game called World of Guns. You've messed around on. It gives you a fascinating look at how guns go together and work. Interesting. Right, is there anything I've not checked yet? Oil tank cap, are you in good condition? You are, apparently. Good. Okay. Do I want to disassemble the cylinders? I'm probably going to have to, aren't I? This top bit is going to be a pain in the bum because of how many goddamn screws it has. The top engine cover here, look at all the screws. It's going to take forever. I can take the entire cylinder block off. Just in one thing if I need to. Let's see if we can do that. Without necessarily disassembling the cylinder block. Like so. So yeah, here we go. Planes! Hello, Mr. Piston. How fareth thee? Fine. What about the piston rings? Right. Piston rod. Fine. Wrong mode. There we go. That's what I need. Can't be Stellaris 2, surely. Like, I've got at least another 20 DLCs to pump out for that one before it comes to the end of its lifespan. Can you hand crank props? Yeah, if you if the propeller's on, you can hold down the spacebar and move it around. It is their permadeath. No, I can't kill myself like my summer car, by having the plane fall on me. All right. Luckily, the magic clipboard will let us know once we've checked everything. So I'm not going to fuck about with the cylinder assemblies until I absolutely have to. Just in the interest of trying to save some time. I haven't got to the stage of the game yet where I've really had to repair any actual battle damage. I bet that's where it starts to get really goddamn interesting. The closest I got was I got a tiger moth like this that had a bird strike, so I had to replace the windscreen and the prop, because the prop was damaged and fucked up, and the windscreen was all cracked and covered in blood from the bird. So get all the rods? I can't actually get to the other rods, can I? And unfortunately, the prop's not on, so I can't crank it round. In fact, you know what? Let's put the prop back on, just to demonstrate. See if it works. I might have to put this on first, though. Cleaning the vomit, yeah, that's definitely the less glamorous side of the job. There we go. So we can rotate it now. And if we do... Ah! Observe! The rods, they move. Engineering hype! Means I can now have a look at them. Fine and pristine. Fine and fine. Fine work there, sir. Fine work. Alright. This needs to come off again.
No.
Yeah, that's going to come off first. Then we take this off. Lovely. Alright, I think that's everything checked that we can check from here, so now the fun part, I guess. What's the... Oh. Well, off you come then. Look at the screws. This is where I'm glad I'm not playing on expert mode. And the thing about them is that once they've, as you can see, you've taken off the nuts. Here, we got to actually take out the screws themselves. So you got to do this twice, and then all over again when you want to put it back on. Yeah, you do get time limits. I've turned them off just so I can sit here and drink my beer and talk to the chat. But there are time limit versions, because like you'll get to later scenarios where you got to get a plane ready for the next mission or something like that, and you've only got so much time to fix it. So yeah, you got to fix it nice and fast. Because of course, you know, in actual World War II, the mechanics, you know, they couldn't just sit on their asses and take all day. They had to like get planes ready as fast as they could so they could go back up in the air. You know, so unsung heroes. Yeah, they really were, to be honest. They really were. Like, you see any interview with a... Hello there. You see any kind of interview with actual pilots from World War II, like, one of the things they all end up saying is how much respect they had for the mechanics. Right. I'm beginning to think it was just that one fucking wire. And we needn't have done all this, but you got to be thorough. Okay, I think that's everything. We might have to put the assemblies back on and then take them to pieces apart bit by bit. Because, the interior of all this gubbins seems to be completely fine. Honestly. So... that plane is in a right state now, isn't it? This thing is not going anywhere. Bits you can fiddle around with in the cockpit. You got the tail skid at the back there. I had to replace that on one of them once. You got other tools you can use as well. Like you got this jack that you can stick under the tail. You've got this jack here, which you can stick under here to raise this end of the plane off the ground. So if you need to like replace the undercarriage of the wheels or something, you can do that. There's a repair bench, and there's like a mini game for repairing specific parts if you need to. Oh, hey, it put all the cylinders over here, so I don't need to put them. I don't need to take them, put them back on before I take them apart. That's good. I didn't even know it did that. Ha! So if you take off an assembly, it just sticks it on a little stool over there. You got this. This is the oil bowser. You can drag around, and you stick this in out of the way, ladder. You stick that in here. You need to refill the oil. We don't on this occasion, but hey. And there's also a fuel truck on assignments where we need to refuel the plane as well. So. You can run precisely this far into the field. In case you were curious. Nice old vintage truck thing. This is the replacement parts truck. You go into the back here, and we need to do this, actually. So, we got the right ignition wires need replacing. So, I'll just see if we can quickly fix them ourselves, because we get bonus points if we do that. No, we can't repair the ignition wires, so we need new ones. So what we do is we go over to the truck here, and we replace these, and you sign to confirm, like that, and we get fresh ones, so we can put that back together, which is what I'm going to start doing now. You like my signature? Yeah, that's good, isn't it? The temptation was there to just doodle a dick, but I decided not to. I decided I could be more classy and original than that. Monetization preserved. Stop dinging at me, phone. Ooh, Jack streaming his Q4 XP thing. All of these as well. I've had a few instances so far where, like, it's docked me points because stuff hasn't been properly screwed in, and I'm sitting here wondering how the heck does that work? Because, like, I clicked all the highlighted screws, but apparently, like, I missed a few previously. So I'm trying not to rush the whole screwing things back in process, so in case I miss something. Because if we don't screw something back in that's really, really important, we could get docked like a bajillion points because, like, the plane fucking crashes and explodes next time someone tries to use it. So gods, I was strong then. Start the joust before I piss myself. Robert, I've said it before. Robert Baratheon is basically my spirit animal. But that whole conversation with the breastplate stretcher and Lancel Lannister endures as one of my favorite scenes from the entire series. It's just fucking funny. You know what? Before we put any more of this back together, hello there. Alright, I think it's probably fine. Oh, I forgot the spark plugs. What a fool I am. And these valves. Yes, I could, Max. I could do that, but if I fucked up the minigame, and it is easy to do, I would actually have to order a new one, because I would have like basically been I was trying to fix something that wasn't broken and fucked it up. So this is all probably fine, but again, I just want to be certain. It did say the whole damn engine. So we're going to check the whole damn engine.
No.
Right. Tywin, yes, Tywin. There's a fantastic deleted scene, actually, from the series between Tywin Lannister and Maester Pycelle, Grand Maester Pycelle. And it is fucking great, and I do not understand why they cut it. To be aha! Damaged spark plug. It's a good thing we did check. Oh, hello. Apparently this is where all the trouble was. To be fair, it makes sense. Like, fouling spark plugs and damaging the valves is like, you know, that's stuff that you will do if you fuck around and mistreat the engine on an aeroplane. So it actually makes sense that this is where the problems are and not, you know, with the crankshaft and stuff. Yes, that's the one, Madman. It's the one where you finally get to see Maester Pycelle basically drop the act he puts on for the rest of the entire series, and actually, you know, he drops the stottering old man persona and actually straightens up and talks like a normal dude, and it's fucking chilling, actually, to be honest. It's really good. It's such a great scene, and yeah, they cut it, and it makes me sad because it was really good. Right. Alright, how the... Ah. Now I've just got to extricate these bits. Okay, so valve has to come out. And... Ah, you as well. If the right ignition wires were screwed up, then it makes even more sense that the spark plugs were fucked. I guess so, although I wouldn't know why, personally. Care to explain? Genuinely curious. Right, yes, you as well. Okay, I think these were fine, weren't they? Oh, I forgot to check you. Aha, good thing I did. Right. New bits. Unless, hold on, let's see if we can let's check, see if we can fix them. The spark plugs we might be able to fix ourselves. Like, because if they were just fouled, I guess not. But if they were just fouled, they'd be, you know, they'd probably be easy to sort out, I guess. But, in this particular case, we will have to replace them all. So, new valve goes there. And the parts do change appearance as well, depending on what condition they're in. If like it's in really shitty condition, it'll look all rusted and screwed up, without you having to go into diagnosis mode as well, which is a nice little bit of attention to detail. Forgot to put the rocker back on there. I don't know what would have happened if I'd put the engine back together without that there. And someone had tried to run it. Probably something bad. I believe there's... yeah. Yeah, it would probably do something very expensive to replace, wouldn't it? Right, is that all the spark plugs? Yes. Wait a minute. Was that only just the one valve? Valve's fine. I'm gonna have to take these off again. Bollocks. Was it just the one valve? I think it was. All the other valves seem to be in place. Okay, good. All right. Right. So, these go back in, basically, I think. Or I think we're sorted now. Why did they cut? I know! There's so much good stuff going on in that scene. It's amazing. There's the whole symbolism with the fish and character development, both for him and for Tywin, and just some really good lines as well. Just, yeah, I mean, it's I guess it's the nature of adapting it from a book to a TV show, because I tell you, you read the books are full of all that kind of stuff. Like reading the Song of Ice and Fire novels, at least the first ones before they start to diverge in plot. It's like reading a director's cut of Game of Thrones, effectively. It's like everything from the TV show, but with so much extra goodness thrown in. Can't recommend them enough, honestly. Although I do switch off a bit every time George R. R. Martin insists on explaining like every single item of clothing that a person is wearing. That gets old real fast, but the guy, nobody's perfect, to be honest. I think Stannis is basically just the same character in the show as he is to the books, but the difference is that they just by nature of the medium in the books he gets more airtime, so you get to see more of him. Like I'm not even kidding. Like every time a character is getting dressed, he lists in excruciating detail every item of clothing and what it looks like and what have you. And most of the time, his obsessive attention to detail is great because it makes for fantastic world building. But sometimes, like with the items of clothing, and occasionally whenever they're having a feast or something, and he insists on describing every single dish on the damn banquet table in detail, it can get a little bit like, oh, okay, I'm just going to skip this bit. One of my favourite bits of the books is when Theon is returning to the Iron Islands for the first time. That whole bit where he's on the boat and as it sails back into Pike, and it describes everything that he sees along with all his memories of the place from when he was a kid and stuff like that. One of my favourite parts of the novels, just period, because it's such a great piece of not even only like really super vivid description, but also just really good world building. Like in the space of about 3 pages, you go from knowing almost nothing about Pike and the Iron Islands to knowing a whole shitload about them. But not in a way that feels like it's just dry exposition either. It is a stonking great big exhaust manifold, isn't it? Hello, planes. Bye-bye, planes. I want to fix one of you later. Right. Okay, I have this horrible feeling like I've forgotten something. I really, really do. Out of the way, ladder. We definitely put all the cylinders back on, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, if like I forgot to put a valve in one of the cylinders right now. Yeah. I'd say fuck it, let's just live with the consequences at that point. I mean, this thing is complicated enough, but if I do get my hands on a Spitfire, that's going to be a whole new level of crazy stuff. Because this is just a little babby tiger moth. This thing is like a bit of wooden canvas with an engine up front, and that's kind of it, really. There's so many more bits on a Spitfire that can go wrong. So, right, we don't need to redo the oil or anything, do we? It says replace all worn parts in the engine, and rather concerningly, I put the engine back together and it still hasn't ticked that off. So, yeah, we clearly seem to have forgotten something. Oh boy. What have we missed? Please let it be something nice and obvious that I can just quickly get to. So is there anything in my inventory? No. So it's nothing we took out and forgot to put back in. Pretty sure I checked all the valves.
No.
Oh. If it is something in the cylinders, that's, you know, that's easier to get to, I guess. Just take off the bottom cowling here. I can just pull them straight back out again. But that's clearly where the problem was. It was the ignition wires, and then it was the spark plugs and valves and things. So, I mean, what does it classify as worn at this point? Like actually damaged, or just anything that's not pristine? Was a damaged one I didn't replace. Well, maybe, hopefully it's this one. Right, what if we take this motherfucker apart completely? No, we replaced the ignition wire.
No, sir.
No, sir. Hello, inside of cylinder. You're fine, aren't you? Head gasket. Oh, God. I didn't check the head gaskets on any of them. Oh, boy. Welp, this is what this'll teach me to half-ass it, I suppose. Right, the rest of you need to come back out again. There's probably a fucking cylinder head gasket in there that needs fixing. And in order to get the rest of you out of there, I'm gonna have to remove some of this other shit too. Ah, oh God. Oh God. Alright, come on then. At least I've got my beer still, what's left of it. $12 later. Imagine doing this mistake in real life. I know, right? Oh, God. All right. Out you come. Alright, you little cylinder bastards. Yes, I'm talking to you, all of you. Stand up straight. Which one of you has a faulty gasket? Eh? Is it you? Let's open you up and find out, sir. Alright, your head gasket is fine. What about you? Can I not just... hang on a second. If I remove the spark plugs, can I just take up the whole cylinder head? I think I can. Really? Because this is on, I can't take this off? You say so. Take all of these individual bits apart. Also fine. So that just leaves you. They probably will be all fine. Then we're gonna go fucking find out what the actual problem is.
No.
No! Right. Okay, hang on a minute. This one doesn't look quite right somehow. Maybe it's this one. Okay, no, that one is fine as well. Well, god damn it, what is the problem then? What is wrong with you, aeroplane? Ugh. I've even checked the cowling flaps. I just don't know. Yes, I need to apply the sacred oils and appease the machine spirit. That's clearly what I'm missing here. And the incense. It's the engine. It's nothing to do with control cables and that sort of nonsense. It is the engine. Replace all worn parts in the engine. And there's a worn part in here somewhere that I have yet to locate. Take the engine apart and fix all worn parts. Replace all worn parts in the engine. What counts as a worn part? Because these are fine, apparently. They're not pristine, but they are fine. Well, for some reason that spark plug is red. Let's keep putting these back together here. Ah, you little shit! There you are. Right, we got you. Out you come, you bastard. Aha! Success. What? Put the... Oh, okay, why can't I replace this plug? Okay, fine. Do I have a damaged one in my inventory still that got put back in? Is that what's happened here? Okay. Okay, all these spark plugs are now fine. So where did that damaged one come from, and why is it not in my inventory now? I'm so confused. Oh, you might be right, actually. There might have been a glitch. I'm pretty sure I've taken everything to pieces by now. Honestly, I think I'm going to put it back together and just sign on the dotted line and see what happens, because I can't figure it out. Yeah, we've had a look at the pistons. Took the whole top of the engine off just to be sure. I had an issue like this in PC Building Simulator once. I had a job to upgrade the GPU in a PC, and I gave it the most expensive fucking GPU I could, and yet for some reason the game would not recognize that I'd upgraded it. Like, I put a GPU in that was objectively better than the one that it came with, and the game was still like, nah, you haven't upgraded it. And I'm like, well, fuck you. Yeah, we checked the crankshaft, we checked all the little bits on it. Bits, yeah, technical term there, but the bearings and things in there, everything inside. Oh god. Everything inside the top of the engine here, we checked the shit out of it. We checked the living fuck out of it. Yes, we did. Check this. So, unless it wants us to replace every bit that's fine with one that's pristine, I don't think much else to do here. I'm just going to put it back together and, yeah, call it a day, as you said. I don't want to put the front engine cowling on yet, though. I wish to put back the cylinder blocks. God, you'd need a hand putting this heavy fucking thing back in, wouldn't you? Head gasket ring and the cylinders. We checked those. We checked those. We checked the head gasket rings. 8 tubes on the cylinders that have push rods related to the camshaft. Oh boy, really? Let's take one of them out and have a quick butcher's. Do 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 do. Yeah, I said I could repair the carburetor, but that was just because I could improve it to pristine from fine. So I don't think that's it. Ah, yes, there with that crucial little bit of tech. Forgot about that one. It's clearly that. Is there a little tiny piece of you that I'm missing? Cylinder barrel. Head gasket, we already checked that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. Is these valves? Obviously. Do 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 do. Aircraft engines are indeed something else. I can't wait, like I said, I can't wait till we get our hands on a Spitfire. So we get to take a Merlin engine apart, because that'll be like, oh man, that'll be so cool. As far as I can tell, it all seems to be okay. We've checked everything. So you go back in. I think maybe it was just that spark plug. I think maybe it was just a glitch spark plug or something, and maybe that was it. I don't know. Either way, I'm putting this fucker back together and I'm signing on the line and we're going to move on. Maybe I'll check the camshaft now that you've mentioned it though, actually. Oh, but if I want to go any further, I have to take all this off again, and fuck that noise. Once was enough, as far as that's concerned. Do 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 do. Come on, we're nearly there. Fiddly click spots. Yeah, that's all fine. Tank mechanic simulator. Really? Oh, cool. Okay. Maybe it's just something really dumb, like I forgot to put the bottom cowling back on or something. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Well, there it is. Nothing in my inventory. Fuck it. Fuck it. Good job. Okay, fine. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Please check the undercarriage before the next flight. I think this was probably going to be a timed one if I hadn't turned off time things. But this is going to be refreshingly simple. Hooray. And refuel it as well. See, there's the fuel truck. Check the undercarriage. Wheel damaged. Fucking pilots with their hard landings. Right. I have a hard enough time servicing engines, apparently, without you fuckers landing improperly. Come on. This bit's awkward. Well, that'll do. Alright, off comes this wheel. Now then. That compression looks fine. This one sure as shit is not, though. So off you come. Am I missing something here? Oh, I am. One cheeky little screw there at the bottom. Okay. Okie dokie. Easy peasy. And also, don't forget the tail skid. Ah, you see? You see? Oh there, tail skid. We need to get you out of there. So let's grab this, stick it under there. Okay. See if we can fix any of this ourselves. No, apparently it's all actually fucked. Completely. So, to the magic truck. I need a wheel, a right compression leg, and a tail skid. Yes, I do. Hail Satan. Last time I did the undercarriage, I think I forgot a screw somewhere, so let's make sure we get them all. Aha! Task completed. There we go. We done did it, folks. Mission accomplished. Okay. Yeah, luckily the game takes all of the hassle of finding the right spanners and things out of the equation. Okay, we're good. Now just fuel the fucker up. So, ladder. Come this way. And now... Beautiful. I wish to put this back on. There we go. There you go. Goodbye, gentlemen. We are good. LOL. Perfect job. Hell yeah. So close to getting the next rank. This time you're required to fix the aircraft after an unlock. What? What? To do this, click. I didn't catch the first part, you bastards! While practicing navigation over sea, we run into a lone German fighter, probably a scout. Luckily, our Hurricanes chased him off, but he managed to hit us a few times. Patch all bullet holes, refuel the aircraft. Ooh, okay, battle damage it is then. Ah. Time to play Spot the Bullet Holes. To repair them, click on them in disassembly mode. Ah, cheers. I need to just apply the patch. Switch to install mode and click on the patch ghost. There we go. Hey, fixing canvas planes. Easy peasy. An aircraft with metal skin, you'll also need to rivet the patch in place. In this case, however, patches are glued to the fabric, so no rivets are required. This is why the Hurricane was awesome, because it had fabric and canvas, you know, and wood sections like its fuselage, and on the early ones, the wings as well, which meant that when they got shot full of holes, it was really, really fast to fix, unlike the Spitfire, where you had to rivet on new plates. This isn't a Hurricane, no, this is a Tiger Moth. This thing is almost completely made of wood and fabric. But it's also not a fighter plane, it's a training aircraft, so... Huzzah. And I guess they want us to fuel it up again because the fuel truck's right there, so... Indeed. Oh, actually, no. You can have that back. Need the ladder first. Very good. Give me that. Put the cat back on. Put that away. Move the ladder. Job's a good un. Hello. Yeah, that didn't take long, did it? Alright. What a colour in the whole box. Yeah, that's my signature. Deal with it. Continue. Ooh, I got promoted, so now I can... Right, okay. One assistant. The assistant allows you to automatically remove 2 screws at a time. Maintenance specialist. With specialist knowledge about individual parts, the on-site repairs will be much easier now. Early start. You convince the pilot to fill out his report faster than others. It's faster than others, so that you can have 5 more minutes to work on the aircraft. Yeah, we're not doing timers though, so... Eagle Eye. A good perception combined with detailed knowledge of the aircraft systems allows you to spot faults twice as fast as other mechanics. Let's give it this one. I think getting the screws... Wait, no, what? Maintenance specialist. What was that? Oh, there we go. Automatically remove 2 screws at a time? Yeah. I like this one. Yes, I do. 3 screws at a time? Actually, I've got a few points here. I'll take that as well, then. And that. Yeah, I need assistance with my screwing, Pedro. I'm not a proud man. A student crashed the plane on his first solo. A new aircraft has just arrived, but it spent a lot of time just standing outside, so it's in really bad shape. Make sure that everything works as it should before we send it to the paint shop. Fuck me, okay. Inspect the whole damn aircraft. And refill the oil and refuel it. Okay, now, if it's just been standing around, right, it stands to reason that the engine is probably fine, right? Like, we don't need to go taking cylinders apart here, because it's not been used. It's just going to be, like, external shit. You would think. Maybe some of the bits in the cockpit? Is there anything to check in here? go ahead and open it up anyway.
No.
No! Take a quick butcher's. Okay, never mind. There is stuff in here that's a bit buggered. But damped. Wait, no, that's the Jerry's. That's what they say. About this side. Left Magneto. He's fine. Alright, well, let's just replace the stuff that we can see right now. So, let's go get this. Oh well. Man, that was so much faster now we took the perk. Okay. And then you as well. Okay, let's get that stuff replaced. And then see if it does anything. See if the magic clipboard tells us we have succeeded. And we can repair this ourselves, apparently. So let's do that. It's like reloading your gun in Gears of War, basically, this minigame. You gotta get it in the right spot on the thing, in the green bit. Fuck. It's restored anyway, but it won't be pristine now, I don't think. So let's put it back in. Very good. Camera. Help. There we go. Okay. Well... This rotates just fine. Apparently there's still something we haven't quite managed to get to yet. Everything on the top looking okay. Nice view of the airfield from up here. Mr. Screw on the wheel. Hello. You know what I've just done? I've just put all the broken bits back on again. Okay, it's one of those evenings apparently. Right. So real-life mechanics, yeah, they got to use their toolbox and all that sort of associated crap. Luckily, real-life mechanics generally are not stupid enough to put the broken bit back on. Fuck. God damn it. All right, come back here. No, that wheel's fine. It's this. At least I fixed the filter. I did fix the filter, so that we don't need to worry about, but... Come on, quick spot. Okay. But we're still missing something, apparently. Right then, anything in my inventory that's damaged? No. I mean, that looks a little bit knackered to me, if you ask me, but apparently it's fine. God, alright. Let's take off all of this crap. Well, at least taking this bit off will be faster now. So let's try that. So did anyone watch the Game of Thrones documentary? In the end, because I did. It was pretty good. Look at those things coming out two at a time. Beautiful. It's really kind of, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of crazy, just, it's given me a newfound respect for everyone who worked on the show because of the sheer just amount of stuff they had to do. Stuff that was involved in making the damn thing. Like, it kind of boggles the mind a little bit, to be honest. This all appears to be fine. Oh, do you know what? I don't think I checked the camshaft on the last on that one that was puzzling us. I bet it was the fucking camshaft. But anyway. But it was really, really cool. Give you loads behind the scenes stuff, and it was, but it was like it wasn't like people sat down giving interviews in front of a camera type thing. It was basically like a small team of guys with their own camera went around during the production process of season 8 and just filmed people doing their thing. You know, swearing into phones, doing all of the stuff that they do, getting lost, you know, around the huge thing. They had the guy who was responsible for doing all of the fake snow on the show, and he was actually hilarious. And all the weird stuff that they had to go through to like keep everything secret as well. Like, for example, when they were going to Italy to shoot some of the bits with the dragon pit in like the final episode of the show, when they were doing that, they had to get the waif and Jack and Hagar and bring Kit Harington all down to Italy as well. Even though they weren't in that scene, they had to bring them all down there so that all the fucking, you know, people spying on them wouldn't know what was going to happen. So they brought in actors and had them all make-upped and wardrobed and everything on the set, hanging around, so that anyone who was snooping on them wouldn't know what was going on. Which is kind of nuts. So they had to pay these actors to come back just to basically stand around on the set and pretend to be involved. Yeah, they shot multiple fake scenes. It doesn't mention that in the documentary, but that would not surprise me at all. Kind of crazy, really. There's some great bits in there too, like they filmed part of the original table reading of the script for season 8. It was quite fun seeing all the actors like reactions and stuff to the script as they were seeing it for the first time. That was kind of cool. And then they had a whole bit with the guy who plays the Night King as well. He's really awesome. He was the head stunt coordinator person, stunt choreographer on the show. And he also played the Night King. And it was really kind of adorable. Like, because he was like, oh, I never got to act in anything before and stuff like that. Like there's this bit where they're in Italy or wherever. And they're all driving up to this hotel. And then, like, all the other actors, like Kit Harington and stuff, they get, like, fans screaming at them and stuff as they enter the thing. And, you know, he goes in, and he walks out, and he goes back down to the gate where all the fans are and stuff like that are, and he's like, I don't know if any of them will recognize me at all. And he goes over to them, and they're like, do you guys know who I am? And everyone immediately shouts, yes! And he's just, it's awesome, because he's like, the poor guy is so overwhelmed, he doesn't believe that they actually recognize him. So... No, it's not the oil filter. That would have been too easy. But yeah, no, it was really awesome. It was really, really cool. And I won't spoil it for you in case you want to watch it, but Kit Harington's drone story is fucking hysterically funny. If you've watched it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But Yeah, there's a bit where he's telling a little story while he's having makeup applied in the dressing room bit, and it is just goddamn hilarious. Well, game, you gonna make me take apart the cylinders again? Is that what this is? Is that what this has come down to? I guess it probably has. No, I don't have to check time on the crank. I just don't understand how anything in the cylinders could be screwed up if it's just been sitting there doing nothing for a while. I don't understand, but okay. Am I enjoying Mass Effect so far? Well, as much as I ever do. You know, played the game plenty of times before. Right, you shits. No, the game. I want to take up the whole. I want to take up the whole assembly. The whole thing, not just one little bit of it. There we go. The controls are a little bit weird. The last season is honestly not as bad as people make it out to be. I just really take the Internet Outrage Brigade with a pinch of salt on this one. Nope. Seriously. We are not talking like final episode of Lost bad here. You would think it was that bad, based on the hate train, but it really isn't. Towards the end, it gets a little bit rushed, and it feels like they probably could have done with an extra season, but for various reasons, you know, that was not going to happen, so we got what we got, and it's perfectly fine in my opinion. It's not perfect, far from it, but then the end of most long-running TV shows are not perfect. I can think of a few. Dexter, I'm looking at you, you monstrosity. But, you know. Good shit. And a lot of the clues are there as well, to be fair. As well, that's something I will give it credit for. Throughout the show, a lot of the clues are actually there. I'm rewatching it right now. I've just started season 2 again, and there's an awful lot of foreshadowing I did not notice the first time around. Now that I've watched the whole thing, you know, it's not like it just came out of the blue. Some people are not going to be happy. They're not. Like, that's the thing. Like, I see some like people's like alternatives, what they think should have happened in the ending, and I'm just like, God, that's awful. So, you know. Look at these cylinders. Spark plugs, mayhaps? the worst. Well, it's not like outrageously bad, but just really cheesy, trite bullshit. Like Jon and Daenerys should have got married and ruled the Seven Kingdoms. The end. Like that's apparently what some people actually wanted, and I'm just sitting here like, what the? Is this? Have you even been watching this show? That's not how it works. Go fucking watch Lord of the Rings again for the 26th time if you want that kind of an ending. Just realized I'm taking bits off here right now without even checking. Ah! Look, rocker mechanism, it was damaged. There you fucking go. However, I've learned my lesson from last time. I'm going to take every single one of these motherfuckers to bits and check them thoroughly. Okay.
No.
You know what I'm going to do to make this simple?
No.
No! No! Ah, you little... Come here, you. I'm going to take all of this off, then immediately just go straight over to the truck and replace anything that needs replacing. And then put it back on. Instead of individually checking everything. And to be honest with you, I think all things considered, they did the best the writers at least did the best they could with a bad job, because when they originally started filming Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin basically promised that he would finish the books before they caught up with him. The whole deal was they were just going to adapt his books to the screen, and that was, you know, that was the plan. And then George R.R. Martin just didn't fucking finish his books, and so they caught up with them and were like, right, okay, we now need to come up with a plan to finish this thing off ourselves. And so that's what they did. And it wasn't perfect, but fucking apparently even George R.R. Martin himself can't figure out how to end it properly, so I think considering that, it did alright. You know? Right, let's put these back together again. Okie dokie. Right, next one. Some weird old shit happened in my Game of Thrones Crusader King saves over the years, I have got to say. I think I had one game where Renly basically won the Clash of Kings and became an absolutely iron-fisted tyrant. That would have made for a very different story indeed. This right here, this rocker mechanism, that doesn't look like it's in very good shape to me. I don't know about you guys, it looks a little rusty to me, but apparently it's fine. Also, I feel part of the reason why Cersei had basically bugger all to do in the final season is because in the books you've got Aegon doing his thing with the Golden Company. So in the books, I imagine she's going to be dealing with that shit towards the end. Or possibly, she won't even be there at the end. Who freaking knows? She might be alive, but she might not actually be queen. Golden Company went there for no reason whatsoever. I question that, honestly. Like, they went there because Cersei needed an army to defend her city with, so that's why they were there. I don't understand what you mean. The reason was gold. They're fucking mercenaries. They turn up because they're paid to. No elephants, though. Sad face. The documentary is also kind of interesting as well because, like I said, I heard that one of the reasons why they didn't get more seasons was because, not because HBO wouldn't bankroll it, they absolutely would, but because a lot of the writers, the cast and the crew weren't interested in doing any more. And what's interesting, honestly, is that like the only two main actors that are actually in the documentary and you actually hear anything from and see anything from are Kit Harington and Amelia Clarke. Like, you really don't see anything from any of the others at all. And all of the bits with, like, the crew and stuff, like the extras and that, they're all fucking super happy and excited and enthusiastic about it all. But the crew, like the people doing all the costumes and building the sets and all that kind of stuff, like, you could tell those guys were fucking out of their minds exhausted. Like, apparently, like, filming the Battle of Winterfell alone was them spending literally half a year living like vampires and working all the way through the night and sleeping through the day for half an entire year outside in a field in the snow. Like, there's one woman in the documentary, I think she's one of the makeup people. She's doing a lot of stuff with like the undead guys and what have you. And she basically, there were points where she hadn't seen her own daughter in like a month because she was busy working on the show. And so I get the impression that there were a lot of people working on Game of Thrones who towards the end were just like, no more, please, no more. Right, let's cross our fingers and hope we got everything this time. Yep, Game of Thrones is donezo. Finito. Done, completed, finished, all the rest of it. And on the whole, I've enjoyed it. So much so that, as I said, I'm watching the whole damn thing all over again now. Because I'm just over the moon that I can watch the entirety of Game of Thrones from start to finish whenever I like now. The novelty of that concept has not actually worn off yet. Well, apparently I still haven't inspected the whole aircraft. At this point, I don't even care. Can you be demoted? I don't know if you can do badly enough to get demoted, but that's an interesting idea. Right, well, what we do need to do... Now I've closed that up. We do actually need to put oil in this thing. We'll at least get the secondary objectives. Try not to give away any major, huge spoilers. Because honestly, if you're watching this right now and you still haven't watched Game of Thrones, and if you're watching my channel, there's a very good chance that you're a big fantasy nut yourselves. In which case, you really should watch it. And in that case, I don't want to spoil certain big plot points for you. Mind you, if you do get them spoiled for you, it's still a fucking great show, and I had a few of the twists spoiled for me along the way, and I still enjoyed it anyway. Because it's more about the journey than the surprises. But you know, it is the most popular TV show in human history. Like, think about that for a minute. And to be honest with you, as much as I sometimes am like, when everyone's talking about the popular thing, fuck the popular thing, I'm not interested. I'm sick of hearing about it. As much as I get that, it is the most popular TV show in history for a reason. Because it's fucking great. Fetch the black breastplate stretcher. Breastplate stretcher? How long till he figures it out? Best part of rewatching season 1 was getting to see Mark Addy and Sean Bean again doing their thing. They're a quality pair of actors. There's a great interview with George R.R. Martin. And he talks about how those guys added something to the story that he could not have done in his books. And I think it's great. It's the bit where it's the first episode, and Robert arrives in Winterfell, and he walks up to Ned, and I think I did check the windscreens. Yeah, he walks up to Ned, and as you well know if you've watched it, he walks up to him and he goes, "You've gotten fat," and Ned responds by just staring at him for a second, and then he just quickly glances down and back up with that look on his face, and then Robert bursts out laughing. Because obviously the joke here is that Robert himself is absolutely massive, like he's fat as a pig. And it's just that little thing, that little glance down and back up again that Sean Bean does. That George R. R. Martin said that I could never have described that in the book in a way that would have made sense. That little gesture that Sean Bean did, the actor did, he could never have actually described that in a book in a way that would have flowed properly and made sense. And that's the power of the TV show versus the book. They can do things like that because of the nature of the beast. And I thought that was really cool because he's dead right, really. It's little things that I like that reminds you the whole thing is a product of more than just like two writers sat in a room. It's a whole group effort thing. Right, I think all aircraft parts need to be installed. Okay, what did we not install? There's nothing in my inventory. Something's missing, apparently. Oh, I didn't put the cat back on the fuel tank. What a moron. Haha, what a fool. There we go. I wish it would tell us what we missed, instead of just giving you a red X, It flew with reduced performance. Okay. So what did we miss that could have caused that? Spark plugs? Maybe there was a spark plug I missed that was bugging up? At least it didn't, like, fall out of the sky and kill everyone. That's good, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. That's an odd one. I'm sure I checked the windscreens. Be glad GRRM isn't like the author of The Witch who hates everything that's in the book. Yeah, like George is pretty chill about all the stuff that people have made with his his books and everything. Like, because the guy used to write for television himself, so he understands how all that shit works. Well, we don't know if he's writing exactly, but he's contributing in some form to that game. Okay, I'm afraid another student had a hard landing today. God Damn students. The aircraft seems okay, but I want you to replace the compression legs just in case. There's a slight loss of power. Please check the pistons. Alright. Fix pistons and rings. Refuel the aircraft. Replace the compression legs. Can do. Oh yeah, they're damaged, alright. They are damaged as fuck. What about the wheels, though? Okay, the wheels are okay, but the compression legs are indeed screwed. Let's get rid of them. Yeah, I mean, like, aside from Sean Bean and Mark Addy, I don't think I knew any of the other actors involved in that show from anything. Oh, no, I knew Lena Headey from 300. She was in 300, I think. But aside from those three, I'd never heard of any of the other actors involved in that show before, and they're all so good! Like, holy shit, are they really, really good? Like, that, I mean... Part of the reason the show is so fucking good is because, like, every actor involved in it was just awesome. There was just, yeah. Like, any time anyone's sort of like, oh, who are your favorite actors on Game of Thrones or whatever, like, I'm like, have you got enough sheets of paper for me to list them all? Because they're all so damn good at their jobs. Apparently, Peter Dinklage, actually. George R. R. Martin wanted Peter Dinklage to be Tyrion, like, right from the very start. Like, right from the very beginning of them starting to put the show together. Like, Peter Dinklage was always his first choice for Tyrion. And likewise, like, they didn't even audition anyone else. They literally just hired Peter Dinklage and that was it. They didn't bother to get any replacements or any other choices in there. They were just like, nope. We're getting Peter Dinklage to be Tyrion, and that is the end of it. And it was almost the same with Sean Bean as Eddard Stark as well. Although in that character's case, they did have to audition a couple of other people because they weren't sure if they'd be able to actually get Sean Bean involved because, you know, he's a big famous actor, so. But he did get involved. So there you go. And yeah, I happen to agree with George Martin on that one. He you know, Sean Bean was basically perfect for Ned Stark, like 100%. Get the replacement parts for the things. I was going to do them all in one go, but alright, fair enough. Actually, let's see if we can fix them ourselves first. Get some bonus points. Nope. You never seem to be able to fix bits like that. It's only ever like little engine parts. Doop. Lovely. Bloody click spots being weird again. Oh, is the jack bugged out again? It does this sometimes. Oh, no, it's because I... No, I don't want to... Fucking bollocks. Okay, I think I might have actually forgotten a screw. I think that's why it wouldn't let me take it away. I think if I had to pick personal favourite actors from that, it would be Lena Headey. But basically all of the Lannisters, like, including Joffrey, are brilliant. Like, Tyrion, Jaime, Cersei, Joffrey, Tywin, you know, they're all excellent actors. Charles Dance is, you know, well, is Charles Dance, you know, nothing more need be said there. Jack Gleeson as Joffrey is seriously good. Like, he did such a good job of playing that guy that people hated him in real life. You know, yeah, Tommen as well. Actually, to be fair, he actually played two roles. That guy, he was one of the Lannister kids that Robb captures earlier in the series, and he also plays Tommen later on as well. Yeah, they were all pretty goddamn fantastic. And also, Alfie Allen as Theon. Like, the dude practically plays three separate people. That's how much his character changes over the course of the series, and he does each one of them perfectly. Oh yeah, and Gwendolyn Christie as well. Gwendolyn Christie in particular, because I didn't realize this until watching, like, interviews and stuff like that, but she is nothing like Brienne in real life. Like, it's a really, really kind of crazy transformation. Because some actors, you know, they play themselves a bit, don't they? You know, but definitely not the case for her. What's she like IRL? Hysterically funny, actually. To be honest with you, like, any of the interviews that she's done, if you go and watch them, like, she's got a fantastic sense of humor. She just, and it's just like she doesn't even talk like Brienne at all either. It's a completely, it's not quite a different accent per se, but just a totally different person. And to be honest with you, even like Kit Harington nailing that northern accent for like the entire thing as well, it's hard work. It's hard work putting on an accent like that convincingly. Because him, along with like Rose Leslie and a bunch of the other actors, actually, to be honest with you, no, they don't have the accents they have in the show. You know, Peter Dinklage's accent is a tiny bit wobbly in like season 1, but he eventually hits his stride with it. We're gonna have to rip these cylinders out, aren't we? I know it. I just know it. Bastard game's gonna make me take out every single one. Okay, what's your problem? Oh, right, engine cover. That, yeah. That will get in the way.
No.
No! What is the problem? Why? There we go. Controls being weird again. Oh, I can never remember his name. Gentleman who plays the Hound, and he's also he's in loads of stuff. Like he was in Hot Fuzz. He's one of those fantastic actors that just like completely becomes a totally different person every time. He's a bit of he's like a Gary Oldman, you know, like you know half the time you don't realize it's him because he's just transformed so freaking completely. Rory McCann, that's the one. Yep. They really are just all of them. Brilliant. No, I don't want to take the spot. Oh, fucking Christ. Ah! Alright, let's see, we're gonna get rid of you. Alright, now we've got access to the pistons. And those all-important piston rings there. And the rods too. God damn it. Okay. Ah! Come here, little piston ring. Okay, I think all the rods are fine. It was just that piston ring. Okay, we may not need to bother with the cylinders. Please check the pistons. Yeah. Okay, we have fixed pistons and rings. Well, I mean, the pistons are fine. It's just that one ring. Don't make me take off the top of the thing again. Game. Please. Valves. Yeah, well, valves will require us to open up these. Fine, let's just do it. Get it over with. Hello, little valves. Spark plugs as well, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna miss waiting and looking forward to Game of Thrones every year, to be honest with you. I've said it plenty of times before, but it's pretty much the only TV show I've ever watched that's grabbed me in quite that way. I've watched plenty of other stuff, you know, but nothing has had me quite as hooked. I think maybe it's just because I'm a sucker for fantasy, but I don't know. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's lots of series I've watched that I've really enjoyed. Like virtually every series of Star Trek. Love it. Even Voyager. Both Battlestar Galactica series, the original and the reboot. Oh god, what happened there? I am enjoying The Expanse, even though I'm trying to stop myself from comparing it to the book constantly. I enjoyed the first couple of seasons of Vikings. Kind of stopped watching around the Siege of Paris, though. Shit, you're right. Okay, it was on this one, wasn't it? Yeah. Whoops. Phew, that was close. Thanks, Crooked. Shades. I appreciate it, my dude. That was very nearly a cause of pain and heartache. Aha, we did it. We did it. Brilliant. But anyway, yeah, so I've watched plenty of stuff. Loads and loads of good, even stuff from HBO, like Rome and Band of Brothers and The Pacific, but just nothing has quite managed to get me to the point where I'm legitimately like fucking edge of my seat excited waiting for a new season. Like, what normally happens is when a new season of a show I've been watching comes out is I kind of forget about it for most of the year. And then eventually, like, a couple of seasons later, I eventually catch up to it again when I get around to it. With Game of Thrones, I was always there on the actual fucking night the first episode of the season would release, watching it at stupid o'clock in the morning. And I've never done that for a TV series before, ever, or since. Oops. No, we want to put it back on. I think I'm missing an engine cover here, by the way. There's definitely meant to be an engine cover here. Game doesn't seem to want to let me put it back on, though. Also, I nearly forgot that spark plug, lol. That'll be why it wouldn't let me put it back on. There we go. I think Chernobyl is going to be the next thing I do watch, just because everyone's going mad about how good it is. So that's probably the next thing I'm going to be getting stuck into, but I gather it's kind of a mini series though, more in the vein of something like Band of Brothers. It's not going to be a long-running thing. Well, to be fair, Mark, if I was just playing this by myself and wasn't streaming and talking and watching the chat, I probably wouldn't have forgotten it in the first place. I've made so many more mistakes in this stream than I have any time I've played this by myself. There we go. Clicked on that a few times and it just wouldn't do it. There we go. Right. Think we're good. We just now need to fuel it up. Yes. Easy peasy. Remember to put the lid back on this time. Yeah, well, you know, the fuel... Where else are you going to put the fuel tank? It's also called a pilot, not a driver. You barbarian. I mean, on more modern aircraft, the fuel tanks would be typically in the wings. In the wings, or between, or possibly behind the pilot and fuselage there, or between the pilot and the engine. But a little biplane like this, not many places to put the fuel tank, really. So it's up there. Beautiful. Perfect job. Bisexual plane. Wait till you see a triplane. Fucking trisexual plane. Visited an airfield with a tarmac runway which must have ruined our tail skid. Replace it. Oh, okay. So why'd you do that then? You silly buggers. That tail skid is indeed fucked. This is the only plane in the game. It's difficult to say because this game's still early access, I believe. But I'm pretty sure, based on like the screenshots and stuff, that there's also there's at least a Spitfire in it. There may also be a let's have a look. Hold on. Plane Mechanics Simulator. Yeah, there's definitely a Spitfire, and I can see that from the bloody screenshot. There's also a Mosquito. Holy shit, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, it looks like Tiger Moth, Spitfire, and a Mosquito. Oh, the Mosquito's going to be a challenge if we ever get around to it. Holy shit. Taking apart one engine is bad enough, let alone two. Can't wait until they fucking like eventually put a Lancaster in the game and I'm gonna be like, oh god. Service all of the engines. Oh no. No! Well, we've just received this brand new Lancaster. Please service the entire plane. Oh, Jesus Christ. At that point, you need, like, multiplayer, don't you, really? Like, you... Yeah, we'll need to do things like reload the guns and things. Yep, that's right. I wonder if you have to load bombs into the Mozzie. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, so. Tail skid. And refuel it. Easy. Alright, can we fix it? No, we can't. Bob the Builder, I am not. Honestly, this game has such potential, though. I mean... so many things they could add to it, even like gameplay-wise, but mostly just in terms of like the slightly dizzying amount of aircraft you could put in this game. Like this is. Oh no! I'm being crushed. This is one of those games where, like, the DLC is probably going to actually be worth buying. Well, that'd be the cool thing. Like, what I would really like is if you could not go fly the thing, because you're a mechanic at the end of the day. You're not a pilot. But actually, what I would like is if you could climb into the cockpit and like do a test run with the engine or something, you know, and then have all the consequences of you not having put together, you know, come home to roost when you actually tried to start the thing up. I have a feeling that would require an enormous amount of work to make that happen, but if they could do it, it would be seriously cool. Because I believe in, like, Car Mechanics Simulator, you can actually go drive the car once you've put it together, I think. So, not that I haven't played it, but... You know, even in PC Building Simulator, once you've put everything together, you could switch the PC on and make sure it actually works. You know? Forgot to plug in a hard drive on one of the PCs once when I was playing that game, and I was really mystified as to why it wouldn't go past the BIOS screen. I was like, what is wrong with this thing? And you get, in PC Building Simulator, you actually get an achievement for forgetting to put thermal paste on the CPU, which made me laugh my arse off in a Robert Baratheon kind of a way when that happened. Right, so refuel it. I think this is going to be it for tonight, honestly. I am considering a bit of Mountain Blade at some point. Not the Clash of Kings mod, and Bobbard, because it's like mega out of date. I think I still have like version 1.5 of that mod, and it's now like version 6 or something. But I also... I think I might actually, if I do it, I think I'd want to try the World of Ice and Fire mod instead. Because that looks pretty interesting. That's something I want to do at some point, but right now, tonight, I don't really feel like doing anything else. I've got another filming session tomorrow for another battle report, so I don't want to stay up too late. In fact, we'll do one more, depending on what the task is, we'll do one more plane, and then I think I'm going to call it a night, so... bring me closer so I can fuel this plane! Also, oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. This is not the fuel! This is the oil. Putting oil into the fuel tank, yeah. Can you imagine? There we go. More Skyrim, Pally Skyrim. I have like half an episode recorded. I had to stop and go do something else halfway through recording it. I haven't managed to finish it yet. I have to be honest with you, I'm really not feeling Skyrim at the minute. I only ever... Well, I mean, rude. I only ever make the kind of videos that I myself would want to watch. And right now, I don't want to watch Skyrim videos, so I have a tough time trying to make them. Got any army showcases ready? Right, so I got one for my word bearers that is a less of a showcase, more of a story time video. And it's sort of gotten slightly out of hand because it was supposed to be about 6,000 words long and it's now about 12,000 words long and it still isn't finished. So... It's kind of turning into a full-blown short story that I'm going to have to fucking narrate as an audiobook. So, yeah, rip. I'm one of those. I'm definitely of the George R.R. Martin school of writing. I'm afraid I just kind of start with an idea and then just see what happens, and it gets totally out of hand. Did I forget to put the lid on again? I only bloody did. There we go. I still haven't had time to sit down and figure out Imperator Rome. I really haven't. You need time to sit down and figure out Paradox games before you can feel confident in streaming them or recording them. Like even Crusader Kings 2, I had to go play a test game to refamiliarize myself with it before streaming it. And that was a game I'd played before. Yeah, I'd like to continue World in Conflict at some point, actually, yeah. Now that you mention it. It's a good game, that one. Alright. The engine is randomly losing power. Find out what the problem is and fix it before the next flight. Fix the problem with engine power. Refuel the aircraft. Alright. So my money's on spark plugs or magnetos or... like a fuel system issue? Let's find out. Haha, fuel filter damaged. Where are them spark plugs at? Ah, spark plug damaged. Sometimes, you know, I impress even myself. I'm learning to think like a mechanic. I'm learning. My whole 2 brain cells are finally figuring this shit out. Yep. Welly, welly, Wellington. Okie doke. Right, so. Fuel filter and spark plugs. And hopefully that's it. Should be. So. Get out of the way, propeller. Oh my god. Right. Now then. The offending articles. Let us remove them. To the workbench. Oh god, yeah, it'd be an absolute nightmare if that were the case. I mean, there is an expert mode, and maybe it does something like that in expert mode, I don't know. Oh, nailed it. Alright, and the other bits, spark plugs. Gimme. Gimme. No, actually, don't do that. Put the spark plugs in first. Very nice. And now this side. We did it! We did it, Reddit. Right. Fucking sweet! Alright, refuel, okay. That it is apparently a very windy day, judging by that windsock over there. Either that, or it's a fake windsock, because it's not moving at all. Somebody replaced our windsock with one made out of papier-mâché, just as a practical joke. Right. If we make bad enough fuck up, it'll tell us what happens in the report afterwards. Like in the previous one, I missed something. I don't remember what it was. And it said that the plane flew but had reduced power or reduced performance. If you fuck up real bad, then something catastrophic could happen, yeah. We won't get to see it, but we'll be told about it in the report. Hello, Spitfires. Remember when I used to do the Cliffs of Dover videos with ACG? I kind of miss those. That was me once upon a time, oh yes. That were me flying around up there in my Spitfire, and now look at me. I'm a mechanic on a Tiger Moth. How the mighty have fallen. So. Save the spare part. Get in. Perfect job. Still something wrong with the engine. I scratched the aircraft from today's flight's plans so that you can have a whole day to fix the problem. Fix the problem with engine power. Ah. So. It was not as simple as it first appeared. Interesting. The plot twist. Well, that's going to have to be for another day, because I am done. I am donezo. It's 11:30, and I've got to get up tomorrow to film a battle report, so... If you're curious, it's Bob returning finally again with his orcs. Bob from the first battle report I ever did, which was Space Marines versus his orcs. You may remember his commandos with like the captured Space Marine armor, which was very funny. But yeah, I'm playing Bob again. I'm going to be bringing the Cadians, so it's going to be Cadians versus orcs, and I think it's going to be awesome. Hopefully, I've upgraded. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know this, but I've upgraded Colonel Van Graff as well. He now has a nice cloak. He has got some extra medals, and he finally has that damn power fist I kept saying I was going to give him. So the Colonel has leveled up. Still haven't got a replacement for the Major, though, yet. Haven't found a replacement. So it's probably just going to be running with Captain Perkins. And... who else? I don't think I have anyone else, do I? No, I have Captain Altair, that's the guy. The Talon fella, I could use him. Couldn't I? Yes. I keep forgetting about him. Right. Right, okay, I think we're done. Exit to system. Done. Alright, folks, let's see if there's anyone else streaming I can go raid. Dirk is streaming, apparently. What's he doing? It says just chatting. Bottling beer. Oh, he's doing a beer stream! Holy shit. Yeah, absolutely. We're raiding Durka. He's doing a brewing stream. Fucking awesome. I want to go watch this. Alright. That's why it's set to just chatting, because there isn't a brewing category. Durka, if you don't know, he's a fellow streamer on this site here, pal of mine. I've met him a couple of times IRL. But he's also a brewer by trade. He brews beer, and he's really good at it too. I've tasted his beer, and it is marvelous. And he's doing brewing streams now, in addition to just playing video games. So yeah, I'm gonna go raid him. I'm gonna go watch that. So yeah, cheers everybody. I will see you on Wednesday with I don't know what exactly. Maybe Mountain Blade, like I said, but we'll see. So yeah, I'll catch you then, everybody. Toodaloo.